First, tonight at 8:30, a star-studded event in Chicago for the opening of the Obama Presidential Center. It features a museum, a public library, an athletic center, and a playground. During his address, the former president says there is more uniting us in this country than dividing us.
People aren't looking for perpetual anger and division. They are looking for fairness and common sense and mutual respect. That deep in our gut, we want to find a way to turn towards each other again, not further away.
The privately funded $850 million project is the most expensive presidential library and center in history. Celebrities, dignitaries, and lawmakers from across the country attended the ceremony, including several from the DMV. I'm joined now by Maryland Senator Angela Alsobrooks, who was among those at the ceremony. Senator Alsobrooks, thank you so much for joining us all the way from Chicago.
All the way from Chicago. Thank you so much for having me. What a joyful day this has been.
Pretty incredible. What stood out to you the most attending today's ceremony?
Well, you know what? It was a day of reflection and celebration, and there was just so much joy in the room. But there was also the signature hope. And I think at this time in our country, we need some hope. There was inspiration there and just a reminder of what President Obama represented. You know, I'm reminded of a friend on the night of his election who said to me that he cried and cried and cried because as a young boy, he announced to his class that he wanted to be president, and the class fell out laughing. And that night he sobbed and said, you know what, it's no longer funny. So that hope that was given to so many continues today, and it's exactly what our country needs, a reminder that we are each other's neighbors, that we have an obligation to care for each other and to take care of each other, and that hope is always really just so powerful, and it continues.
Senator, you talk about hope and also about inspiration, but what did attending today's ceremony mean personally to you as a public servant?
Well, you know that President Obama, First Lady Obama, called me after my primary election, invited me to come meet one-on-one with them, and gave me some really great advice. It was so warm. They said to me to avoid cynicism at all costs, to remain optimistic and hopeful, to make sure that I submit myself as a senator that people knew fought for them every single day. So I'm a part of the coaching. You know, President Obama has coached so many of us. I'm one of the people that he mentored, reached out to very personally, made himself available to me even after I got elected and was sworn into office. So, you know, in that, I know I'm not the only person. There have been people all across the country that he continues to mentor and support. And so I'm just personally really grateful. He came and inspired my volunteers, met my parents and father. So I'm also a beneficiary of the legacy, really, of not only hope, but that he is really helping to develop leaders all across our country who I think will carry us forward. President
Obama emphasized the fragility of democracy. What part of that message resonated with you the most?
It's that we're each other's neighbors. You know, this is the concept that neighbor is not geographic, it's moral, that we have an obligation to care, whether it's in Chicago, whether it's in Washington, D.C., whether it's in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, or wherever it is, that we have an obligation to care for each other, whether we have health care or whether we can afford groceries. This is the ongoing challenge of our time, and that freedom is not free. You know, we have to fight for it in every generation. So we need to strap on our boots, make sure we're continuing to really fight for democracy, that we're fighting to be moral leaders, not only here, but across the world. It's an ongoing effort to fight for voting rights. So I feel fired up and really inspired to continue to do my part. This is our generation's opportunity to serve, but I'm so grateful to have that opportunity to serve. And I was really very grateful to be among the people who were celebrating our country, celebrating President Obama and his family, and looking for tomorrow.
How do you see President Obama's legacy influencing today's political climate? It is a polarizing one that we are all navigating.
It is a polarizing one, but once again, I mean, we look at the unlikely election of President Barack Obama and realize that everything is possible in our country. That if you work hard, he was a unifier. I think that same recipe has to be used to move us forward from the moment that we're in. When we were there today, dancing and holding hands, and just really, I mean, it was such a powerful, unifying day. That's a reminder of who we really are as Americans. People who care about each other, that our differences make us stronger. It's a reminder of really who we are as Americans. And it is that we are hopeful and faithful and loving people. And I think, that's what we need more than anything right now, is a reminder of who we are, what our character, what the true character of our country is. And it's that we care about everyone, no matter your station in life, no matter your race, your gender. We all should care one for each other. We are Americans, and I think that's what today celebrated.
And Senator, before we let you go, what stood out the most about the design of the center, and what would you say is the big takeaway, the big message for the DMV?
Let me tell you, it was amazing. So this center welcomes the community. They have barbecue grills for people to come in and grill. There's a whole big hill for people to be able to sled down when it's cold outside. There's something for everyone at the center. It is a gathering space. The one thing President Obama said is, this is for you. This is not just about us. It's about you. A place that will remain when he is long gone. And I think that's the powerful thing about it. It's a place that celebrates not just the Obamas, but celebrates all of us. And it was a fun, beautiful, beautiful place.
We're all invited to the cookout. Senator Angela Alsobrooks, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.